your stuff off. You can make a change by turning the stuff off and just going out and doing anything. Go for a walk. Get 10 minutes of fresh air. Go for a bike ride. Call your friends and say, hey, let's go to the park and throw a ball around. It's a lot better than texting each other and getting.
Obesity is a rapidly growing problem in North America, but what is the cause of this rise? That's what we aim to find out. Volunteers were interviewed and asked a numerous amount of questions, starting with their opinion on the level of activity in today's youth.
What? Today's youth is not as active as they could be.
It's very low.
It's probably not very high.
Probably unhealthy. People are lacking.
One of the big reasons is that everybody has their face in a screen.
So obesity seems to be a pretty known issue. But what is the cause of this rise? Is it the increased amount of fast food restaurants? Or is it the lack of exercise in today's youth? Is it really that noticeable?
I think there's a lot of video gaming and stuff like that, and there's just too much inactivity. Kids don't play like they used to, so I think maybe not necessarily at this school, but in general, across Ontario and across Canada, the activity level is definitely lower than where it should be.
I think that the obesity rate of the youth is going up and skyrocketing, especially in this school, where you can see at least a quarter have eating disorders or some kind of weight disorder.
Certain people have they do more activities than some, but then other people are lacking in these activities. Some kids just sit around at home all day playing video games, whereas others make an effort to get outside and play sports.
Diet and activity are the most important parts in staying fit, and technology has played a large role in their destruction. Were previous generations healthier due to the lack of technology?
When I was a kid, we didn't have all of the technology. We had the television, right? And we only had 3 channels, which was even worse. So there wasn't enough reason to stand, sit in front of the TV for hours a day and watch cartoons all day. We got out and biked and, did all kinds of things that kids today don't necessarily do.
Yeah, I think there's a slow decline in the level. I think kids were more active when I was young. We played, street hockey and ball hockey, and we didn't have the options to sit. There was no internet. There was no, Atari was all we had as far as a game console went, and we went out and played more. And I think the generation before me was probably more active than I was. And just looking at the fitness of the average population, it's definitely gone down.
With technology removing exercise from the equation, all that's left is dieting. In the early 2000s, Bill 8 was passed, a bill that was first to begin the war on obesity. It ensured that all school lunches sold on the property were healthier and met a required standard. But was it enough? We asked our interviewees how they felt about today's dieting.
How healthy do you think kids eat?
Not at all. Yeah. No, there's way too much processed food, way too much fast food. People aren't making meals at home as much. There's way too much sugar, sodium, and fat in the foods that we eat. Sugar's the big one that I don't think kids realize is that impacts them so much in terms of their health and in terms of their mood and their behavior. That we need to eliminate how much sugar kids are taking in on a regular basis. Right. People used to think that fat was the big one, but I would say sugar is the big problem.
But what do people think of their own diets?
I consider my diet very unhealthy.
Average. Not healthy at all.
I personally consider my diet very healthy. I have a doctor as a mother, so I grew up in a very health-oriented world, and we have homemade meals. We don't go out for dinners very often, and fruits and veggies are a main supplement in our diet.
Okay, I guess.
So on average, dieting is not as successful. But what about the amount of exercise our interviewers are getting?
Almost never.
I don't know, like on the weekend?
I have gym class every day, so that's like that. And then I play baseball and volleyball and basketball. So.
From what we have heard, many people are not getting enough exercise and have poor diets. This dynamic duo is destined for destruction. But what if a person has great exercise routine but eats unhealthily? Can they work out so much that it doesn't matter what they eat?
To a point, yes. Okay, you can eat unhealthy and exercise it away. The trouble is that as you get older, the long-term effects of eating unhealthy are a problem, right? You get vascular disease, cholesterol levels go up. That's stuff you don't see as you get older, and so I mean, yeah, in the short term, sure, but understand if you're going to eat, McDonald's and fries, okay, that's 1,100 calories to burn off, right? So you kind of build yourself up. You have to be doing a lot of push-ups and sit-ups to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, it's deceiving because people can eat poorly and still maintain a pretty good physique, especially if they have high metabolisms. That usually catches up with people as they age and get older, because you can't see what's on the inside. So they could have, heart disease and high cholesterol and stuff like that, and they could look as healthy as they want on the outside. Now, if they are a higher level athlete in training, diet will definitely impact their performance. So I don't think at the elite level they can mess around with nutrition, but I think as an average athlete, they can get away with eating garbage and still do okay, but not at the higher elite level.
With that information, I doubt many people are able to, or even want to live a life like that. But having a good diet is easier than most think. Simply switching to water and introducing more fiber is a great, simple way of living healthy. What else can we do to fix this problem? Very few of our guests had an answer, but those that did all sounded similar.
I mean, there needs to be broad sweeping change. I think mandatory physical education at grade 12 would be a start, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to solve the problem. I think kids need to be, even with full-time phys ed, they may not get as much activity as they need, and they're not going to get it all year round in high school. So especially in the semester school. So there's a lot of obstacles, but I think it needs to start from home, and parents need to take more responsibility in making sure their kids get out and are not sitting in front of the computer or in front of the gaming console and stuffing their faces with sugary and fatty foods all the time. So it's a broad. There needs to be broad solutions and drastic solutions to the problem, not just a couple simple things. So it's pretty complex, I'd say.
Turn your stuff off. You can make a change by turning this stuff off and just going out and doing anything. Go for a walk. Get 10 minutes of fresh air. Go for a bike ride. Call your friends and say, hey, let's go to the park and throw a ball around. It's a lot better than texting each other and getting, just talking.
As we begin to reflect on what we have learned, we begin to realize that we have only scraped the top of a long debate. Because this problem affects so many people, we understand that there is no quick fix, and that we must face this challenge as a country. The best way to stay healthy is ensure on a personal level that you are eating right, staying active, and loving life. Are you ready to take a stand?
You ready? Let's go! doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him.